I'm seeing a lot of small businesses wasting their time churning out pointless content. What do I mean? How do you know the content you're creating is pointless? Well, I'm going to share with you some top tips so you don't make those same mistakes in this episode of T.E.A Talks. Let's get into it. Right, Darren, how are we doing? You well, my friend?
Good. We're both wearing our white shoes today.
Aren't we? We got the white shoes memo.
Yeah.
Right, something is really grinding my gears at the moment.
Yeah.
And it is small businesses that are wasting their time when it comes to creating content.
They may as well be making butter.
Well,
they're
quite.
churning that much.
If you're a small business, there is this belief that you've got to create content. And content is king, content is great, content is powerful, so long as it's the right content.
As long as it's video.
Video, of course. But if you're creating content, just take a minute and think about what types of content you're creating. Because no one loves content more than we do in terms of whether it's written
we're
or
churning
visual.
It out all the time.
Oh God, aren't we just? But content is hugely powerful so long as it's the right content with the right intent.
Yeah.
And so often is the case that I speak to small business owners or people in marketing teams for small businesses, and it's classically, often it'll be like the one-man band type marketer that's doing everything. All the small teams. And what they're doing is they have got themselves into this false belief that they just need to be churning out content. And so they'll have a blog,
Yeah.
And on the blog, they will be writing, guides and resources and stuff that will have a loose link to what it is they're trying to sell.
Sure.
Right? But there'll be no commercial intent behind it. And what they will end up writing is they'll write a guide, they'll write a how-to, they'll write a roundup post, they'll write a best-of guide, they'll write an inspirational piece, they'll do something, right? There's a million ways you could approach this. But what they will do is they will be churning out content post after content post after content post, and it's okay content.
Sure.
But it's never going to rank. It's never going to rank online. And so the reason it's pointless is because I go, well, who do you think is going to see it?
Yeah.
Because otherwise you end up, you might get the odd one post that does really, really well and it's a bit random, but if there's no commercial intent behind it, what's the point? But more often than not is the case. And what I challenged this person I was speaking to yesterday, and what I say to business owners, I say, okay, you're going to write a guide on that topic. Why? And if sometimes there's not a tangible link and other times there is, but even if there is and they go, oh well, because if someone's looking for that, they might ultimately be looking to buy our product or our service.
Yeah.
Even if that is the case, I then say, okay, well, that topic you've written about, go and Google it, because Google will at the top of Google show you what it's got what it thinks is the best for that topic. Now, how does what you've just written compare to what Google's got as the best?
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, it will be, oh, well, that's an amazing piece. It's far more in-depth, detailed. They've gone to town with the graphics and with the all of that stuff. They've really brought it to life. My 500-word blog post doesn't really compete.
Okay.
Before we go any further, if you're enjoying today's Tea Talk, you'll love our Grow with Evergreen podcast. Specifically created for home, garden, and lifestyle brands, it's a podcast dedicated to discussing paid media and marketing. Every episode, we're joined by a brand that wants to grow online. We delve into their business, dissect what they're doing, and define a digital growth strategy they can take and deploy into their business. And best of all, you get to listen or watch along, then take those learnings into your own business. Make sure you check it out on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. But for now, let's get back to today's Tea Talk.
So let's put it into perspective, and let's just imagine a sort of an actual company.
Sure.
So let's say that I'm a plant business owner, Pete's Plants.
Yep.
And I have the plant pen.
Yeah, okay.
It's my blog.
Okay.
The plant pen.
Fine. I like the fact you come up with this on the spot. Yeah.
Let's just come to it. And what should I be posting?
What should you be posting?
I do a post called My Favorite Plants.
Yeah. Why? What's the point? It's a pointless task.
Because I like plants.
Maybe
other people will.
You may like plants, and what you need to tap into is what people are. Look, you can write content, and that's fine. but don't expect it's going to move the needle or bring you sales.
Sure.
Because if you write a blog post or a guide, you put it up there, so did the 10,000 other people and the thousands, tens of thousands of other posts.
I've spent 10 hours on this blog.
Well, you may well have done, but it's not going to add any value. And this was exactly the case of what this person was speaking to yesterday. She was writing, she'd said, oh, well, another agency had told me I need to be writing, and it's the classic, if you've ever heard this, oh, we've been told we need to do 2 blogs a month.
Yeah.
I don't care. It doesn't. You're not going to move the needle. Stop doing it. It's waste. She was like, well, I've done a guide on how to keep this clean and how to do this and how to do that. Who cares? Who cares? It's got a link. If you sell a product and you're like, oh, I'm going to do on how to keep it clean or how to maintain it or how to, fine. That is good stuff by all means. But don't write it with the expectation that it's going to bring you more leads.
Yeah.
It's going to add to the overall visibility of a brand in time, maybe. But as a small business, and the big thing here is small businesses, small businesses don't have the luxury to go, we're going to create lots of content that might serve us value in years to come.
Sure.
This is about small businesses. And so she was going, well, I've been, for the last 6 months, I've been churning out 2 blog posts a month and I'm not really seeing anything. And I'm like, duh, you think that this is why? Because look at them, there's no commercial intent. There's a massive hop, skip and a jump between someone searching that and finding your content and then thinking, oh, and actually I want to buy that product or service. It's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And so, but so many small business marketers find themselves just going, well, I should be creating content. I must create 1 or 2 or 3 blogs or guides a month. Stop doing it unless it's got a proper plan and you can look at a long-term vision and go, and it's very, very niche and we're going to own this space and we're going to keep banging the drum for this specific topic, category, point we're trying to get across. Fine. But don't just have a spray and pray approach, which is so often the case.
Well, and if you compare that to, say, for example, what we're doing with our content, we're not doing it for leads. We're doing it because we generally want to provide that information for people, and we're doing it consistently and
on the same stuff.
We're
talking about every episode of T.E A Talks. We're talking about the same stuff. It's paid media and creative again and again and again, always into the focus of home and garden. So it's very specific. It's video. It's long form, and our purpose. The primary reason for getting this stuff up is we can put this on our blog as well as on our socials, and it has a purpose. It has a very clear audience of who it's talking to, and it's a long-term thing because we're a small business, but we're not a super small business.
No.
And it's, so there's always going to be caveats and different reasons for one to do it, but there's so many brands and businesses that I see that are very small that are just creating content, and I'm like, it's a lovely thing to do and you're adding value for customers, fine, but it is so far removed from ever adding any value, so just stop doing it. And we've had one client recently where we've just said to them, stop doing that. Your money's going to be better spent in focusing on doing this or this, but actually rather than paying someone to create content or you taking the time to do it yourself, focus on other tasks that are going to provide value and going to bring revenue into your business. Small businesses right now don't have the luxury to do all these nice to do marketing things. What's going to put food on the table is what the way I think about this is what's going to pay the bills for this small business. Writing content is just a wishy-washy task. It's not going to cut it.
We could honestly talk about this one thing.
Well, it really winds me up because I just see business. I'm like, you've got a finite amount of time and money to spend on your marketing. Stop whittling it away on writing content or paying someone to write content. It's just never gonna touch the size. It really winds me up, as you can tell.
And if you take nothing else away, do a blog with a video at the top that people can watch, just like us.
There you go, exactly. Look, I've nothing against content. It is the best thing. It's super powerful. We are living and breathing just how powerful that is for ourselves in terms of, getting in front of your target audience. So content can be hugely powerful, but just if you're a small business and you only have a very limited amount of time and resource, don't spend that time creating content which is never really going to add any commercial value. Actually just think about what you're producing and ask yourself a question. Is this going to help me generate more sales or more leads or really help my business to do what it needs to do? Because as your business grows, then you get the luxury of thinking more long term and thinking about I want to establish my brand, right? I want to establish a brand as a thought leader, which is really where we're now at. We want to establish ourselves as a thought leader in this space. But for a lot of small businesses, and I'm really approaching this episode and this sort of topic from the perspective of you got to put money on the table. We've got to pay the bills right now. Businesses need to pay the bills. So stop spending so much time and energy on creating stuff which is just a nice to have but never actually going to translate. And I think hopefully that will have resonated. And even if there's one person that watches this and goes, yeah, actually, do you know what, we've fallen into the trap of just creating blog post after blog post, and actually, do I have any sense of the value that it's actually adding? Well, not really. Then just stop doing it and just think about, where can I put that time and effort and energy into something that's going to actually generate me leads or sales for my business.
That's it.
There you go. So there you go. I'll get off my high horse and we'll leave this one here. Hopefully it's been useful. Let us know in the comments what you think. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff, please. We really appreciate it. And if you haven't already seen our podcast, Grow with Evergreen, make sure you check that out, because every single episode we bring on a guest and we get into their specific marketing challenges. It's fascinating. So make sure you check that out, and we'll see you on the next episode of T Talks. Take care.
Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, well, on the left side of the screen, you'll find a video that YouTube has hand-picked just for you. On the right, you'll find our latest video hot off the press. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Thanks for watching.